To order. Okay. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mike Eddy.
Here.
Kathy Templeton.
Here.
Cynthia Hyde.
Here. Next we will have a town council statement.
Good evening. Those of you who were here last week know that I'm Mark Schaffner, a member of the firm that is the Town of Thurman's legal counsel. I have a statement to make, and it's a little bit longer than last week's statement. If you all were here last week, I apologize. This one's a little longer, but we think it's important. And here's the statement. As I stated last week, my colleagues and I are fierce supporters of open government and regularly advise the many municipalities we work for about open government issues. We are not inexperienced on this topic, and I am the author of 2 open government articles in statewide publications and a frequent lecturer at statewide conferences, especially if Bob Freeman is unavailable. My colleagues and I are also strong supporters of freedom of the press. We have an excellent relationship with numerous newspapers and reporters, including some at the Post-Star. We believe that responsible newspaper reporting is very helpful and important to local government. In this area, we generally see accurate and responsible reporting from our weekly newspapers, The Sun and The Chronicle, but unfortunately, often not from our daily newspaper. Those of us who were here last week witnessed quite a spectacle when the town board and I convened a completely lawful attorney-client privileged conference just before the town board meeting. The Post-Star reporter objected to us doing so, which is certainly his right, but did so in a totally unprofessional manner, including loss of temper and yelling and screaming that we were having an illegal meeting. At the town board meeting, I explained that our conference was perfectly lawful and suggested that the Post-Star contact the State Committee on Open Government for confirmation. The next day's paper included the accusation of illegality and sugarcoated the reporter's tantrum as repeatedly pressing that the meeting was improper. Lo and behold, the Post-Star did contact the Committee on Open Government and was informed that the statement I made was 100% correct and our conference was perfectly lawful. Mr. Goot did call me on Friday morning to apologize for his unprofessional behavior. However, neither he nor the Post-Star has apologized to the town board and the people of Thurman for screaming unfounded allegations at us and wrongly reporting issues of alleged illegality. They owe you an apology. In the same light, the Friday newspaper had a large headline stating, "Thurman has a supervisor," and reported that the town board had appointed a new temporary town supervisor at the town board meeting. Based on this headline and article, members of the county board of supervisors were even asking us who their new colleague was. There is no such position as temporary supervisor. Much more importantly, however, the town board did not appoint a new supervisor, temporary or otherwise. No resolution appointing a supervisor was introduced or read at the meeting, and no motion to appoint any new supervisor was made. The Post-Star reporter sat through our entire meeting, and these words were never spoken, yet the newspaper blared, "Thurman has a supervisor." The only correction to this enormous error was a passing reference in the back of Saturday's paper to me pointing out that no supervisor was appointed, but no correction of anywhere near the magnitude of the false headline and story. As recently as this past week, the town received correspondence addressed to the supposedly new supervisor, undoubtedly as a result of the misinformation published in the Post-Star. Even as of now, the Post-Star has still not affirmatively stated that, in fact, Thurman does not yet have any new town supervisor. Lest we miss a week without criticizing the town of Thurman, The Post-Star booed the town board for not having 2 of last week's resolutions available before the town board meeting. Contrary to what the Post-Star seems to believe, the law does not prohibit introduction of resolutions that simply did not yet exist days before the meeting. Nor does it prohibit introduction of resolutions from the floor at town board meetings. The law does require such availability whenever practicable, and the town board has complied with this directive. The Post-Star rides a high horse with its holier-than-thou attitude, yet whitewashes its own glaring mistakes. It strives to find fault with others, especially local government and attorneys, while shamelessly adding fuel to the fire through baseless allegations. When the allegations turn out to be untrue, this is either ignored or barely acknowledged in passing in a manner which seems intentionally designed to get less attention than the allegations themselves. The Post-Star itself claims that the ethic of journalism is to provide fair, accurate, and responsible reporting, yet it abandons these principles in efforts to create news by casting negativity through unfounded allegations whenever possible. The town board is working hard to get things back on track and has already accomplished much in this regard, for which it should be commended. It is the Post-Star itself that is deserving of the boo, and we await its apology. This statement is a public document, and anyone who wishes may have a copy. We request that the Post-Star and the Sun include it in their reports of this meeting. It will also be given to the town clerk to be part of the minutes of the meeting, and I will also assure anyone in attendance that it is not our plan to have a monthly town council statement. We just feel that the last couple of meetings, there's been important reasons to do so. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to designate a town board member to chair the meeting tonight?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
You need to
Who?
name who is
Who?
Cynthia.
Oh, well,
We
that's
skipped
right.
that part.
Who
we
would
skipped
like to
that
name
part.
somebody?
I'd like to name Cynthia Hyde as day-to-day services.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is the chair, that was the chair of the meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
As the chair of the meeting. Okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment history of a particular person or persons relating to a possible appointment of a particular person? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?